Guys, I am just so heartbroken at the verdict for this Breonna Taylor case situation. New protests have started happening now because of this. I mean, I cannot believe that this guy has not been indicted on any official charges concerning her death. This is such a slap in the face. Oh my God. I'm going to read this really quickly by USA Today. Absolutely heartbreaking ruling in Breonna Taylor's shooting sparks new wave of national protest for justice and racial equality. The announcement of a grand jury decision to indict one of the 3 police officers involved in the shooting death of Breonna Taylor, and that the indictment wasn't related to her death, sparked another wave of protests for justice and racial equality around the nation. You guys, my understanding is that this person was only indicted for putting the other neighbors at risk with bullets going into the other neighbor's home. I mean, this is just such a slap in the face. I'm just let me keep reading here. Reports of protests and marches in Chicago, Philadelphia, Brooklyn, and Cincinnati, among other places, followed Wednesday's announcement from Kentucky General Daniel Cameron, and demonstrators also took to the streets in Taylor's home city of Louisville. In Chicago, where the mayor called for a citywide moment of silence, there were at least 4 protests across the city. Oh, man. And this is a picture. It says a couple hundred people are gathered in Chicago's Palmer Square Park to demand justice for Breonna Taylor. Small groups are talking to themselves. Say her name. I'm just, damn. In the South Side Auburn Gresham neighborhood, dozens of people led anti-violence activists and Pastor Michael Fleger blocked an intersection chanting, "Say her name, Breonna Taylor." Dozens more gathered downtown in Millennium Park outside police headquarters in the South Side Bronzeville neighborhood and at Palmer Square Park on the north side. This ruling is absolutely heartbreaking, and it leaves more questions than answers, said Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot. This is a profoundly disturbing reality. Activist Jamal Cole, founder of My Block, My Hood, My City, urged Chicagoans to remain peaceful and join a rally for justice downtown Saturday afternoon. Human life is important and it matters, Cole said. I got 2 black daughters and I want them to be all they can be. That shouldn't just be my aspiration. That should be my reality. Videos on Twitter showed hundreds gathered at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Protesters there held signs like "She was sleeping" before marching and chanting Taylor's name. In Ohio, protesters gathered at the Hamilton County Courthouse before marching through the streets. They chanted "No justice, no peace" in Taylor's name while going through downtown. Police presence was in the area was minimal. Protesters in Louisville were met by police with some clashes becoming physical ahead of a 9 p.m. curfew announced by Mayor Greg Fisher. Police said they may dispense chemical agents and threatened arrest. Wow, that really sucks. You suck. A Louisville Metro police officer was shot in downtown Louisville, a department spokesperson confirmed to the Courier-Journal, part of the USA Today network. Other details weren't immediately known. Kentucky National Guard announced Governor Andy Beshear authorized the deployment of 500 troops to Louisville. We're here to support the city of Louisville and its citizens and provide public safety. Our efforts in the city are tailored response to the ongoing civil disturbance at the direction of the governor. We are part of this community too. Really? Are you? Are you? Because that indictment certainly doesn't say you're a part of the same community. It says that there's 2 different communities, the communities that matter and the communities that don't. Former Louisville police officer Brett Hankinson, who was fired in June, is facing 3 felony counts of wanton endangerment for firing into the apartment next door to Taylor's. Jonathan Mattingly and Miles Cosgrove, 2 other officers involved in the raid, were not charged, which I don't freaking understand. I don't understand that. This just sucks. Ben Crump, a civil rights attorney who represents the Taylor family, called the decision outrageous and offensive to the Breonna Taylor's memory. He added the news false, far short of what constitutes justice. Crump added the decision was indefensible. Wonder how many black people were on that jury that made a decision on that indictment. I'd like to know that. The grand jury may have denied Breonna justice, but this decision cannot take away her legacy as a loving, vibrant young black woman who served on the front lines in the midst of a devastating pandemic, Crump said. Yeah, that's a lot of our stories though, right? They lose their death to foolishness, and then we have to try to carry on their memory with no justice. You know, after Cameron's announcement, Bashir called for a nonviolent protest. He added he'd already seen militia groups walking through Louisville. So be safe, and the eyes of the world are on Louisville. He said people will hear. There are more cameras broadcasting to more places, and so I'd be mindful that they're here so that you're heard. And let's try to do this in a way that makes positive change. It is not used to prevent change. Well, you know what? They've been protesting for months, right? People have been out protesting for months for Breonna. I mean, if we hadn't done that part, this man wouldn't even gotten any indictments at all. You know? He wouldn't even lost his job, right? He says he got fired, finally, after months and months and months. You know? This is horrible. It's absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable, you guys. So I wanted to give you an update. I'm absolutely horrified by this. I just can't believe after all this time, you know, her mother, her family still can't have any peace because this man still gets to walk around freely, and to get some whack charges for the bullets going through to the neighbor. Yeah, he's culpable for that, but he's also culpable for taking somebody's life who was at their house minding their business, sleeping in their bed. I can't even begin to imagine how horrifying that was, to wake up in the middle of the night and think somebody's breaking in, and oh no, it's your neighborhood friendly cops, right? Busting in your door with no explanation, no announcement, no nothing. And nobody gets any charges for this girl's death. It's absolutely unacceptable. You are to be ashamed of yourselves. Unacceptable. The only victory here is the fact that they, you know, got this large, a multi-million-dollar settlement for the wrongful death suit, but that's still not enough. That doesn't bring her back. And this is horrible. This man still gets to go home to his family. The other two, a part of this process, still gets to go home to their families. So how is that fair? How is that fair? Anyway, you guys, thank you for checking out What's the 50 for you. There you have your update on what has occurred with the Breonna Taylor indictment case. Not good news. Not good news at all, you guys. Okay. Thank you for checking out the channel. Comment below. Let me know how you feel. Let me know how you think. All right. Peace.